go ahead and begin. You can begin, Karen, whenever you'd like.
So this meeting is called to order. Can we have roll call?
Committee member Greenbaum,
Here.
committee member Spurzum, and Chair Garbosi.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, and now we'll have the salute to the flag. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with
liberty,
liberty
and
and
justice for all.
Don't we need a flag for this?
I have a flag.
I don't. Okay.
There you go. Okay.
We'll send you one on the internet. Okay. Open time for public regarding non-agenda items. Got anything for us, Patty? She doesn't have her hand
Does
raised.
not have her hand raised.
We don't have any emails or anything from anybody else.
We do not have any emailed public comments.
Okay, that being said, we are going to close open time for public comment. The first item on our agenda under general business is a discussion and possible action of the proposed fiscal year 2019-2020 final annual report on the revenue and expenditures of the transactions and use tax and direction to forward the report to the town council.
Okay, in your packet, you will see I have included a draft of the annual report for the 2019-2020 fiscal year expenditures. It's basically just a recap of what was discussed at the last meeting.
Okay.
So if this looks satisfactory to you, it will be presented to the town council after you've signed it, or if there are changes to be made, I will make them.
All right, Jean, do you have any questions or comments or concerns with regard to this document?
Yeah, I just have some comments for clarification. What, I don't understand the reimbursement under streets potholes. You've got two reimbursement items. So it's being reimbursed from who to who?
I believe both of these were for grants. They were from I believe both of them were from TAM, Transportation Authority of Marin. And then I hadn't realized that they were going to be reimbursed. And then after the fact, they were. If I had known in advance, I would have charged that originally to that grant fund. But then I didn't know. So when the money came, it had to be reimbursed. So
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else, Jean?
Yes. The sewer expense during power shutoff. What was that exactly?
Is that the 2019 PSPS? October 2019?
I don't know. It's in the.
That's my question to Daria.
Let's see. That is.
That's the last line under.
Oh, yes. I'm not sure exactly of what that was, but the town had to get some sort of generators for the sewers when PG&E shut off all the power in 2019, October of 2019, when they were having those emergency shutoffs because of the fire danger. The town had to get, I'm not sure if they I think they rented them, some generators, some special.
So could we add to the description sewer expense during 2019, October 10/2019 power shutoff?
Yes. I will add that.
That was one of my questions too.
Okay.
And that's the only thing I highlighted. So that's it.
Okay. I have a couple questions. One of them, and I'm sure that you explained this, but since there is this long pause between the time that we're back in the saddle, I've forgotten. What is multimodal?
That's part of the infrastructure line item. It's it's multimodal. It has to do with bicycles, with pedestrians,
Oh,
with
okay.
Cars. They keep changing the names of these categories, and that's
Okay.
what we're calling it now. Multimodal.
Yeah, I don't need it to be changed. And then, so this is on the first page in the paragraph. So there's the paragraph that begins for the 2019-2020 fiscal year. I think you have space to do this, to say July 1, 2019 to June 30, 2020. So add the years there, please.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay. Yes. All right. Then on the second page of the third item down, it says 2017-208 street pavement project. I think that's supposed to be 2017-2018.
Yes, I will correct that. Thank you.
Okay, great. And then on the next section, senior and youth programs, painting, flooring, is this both for the rec center, the recreation center?
Yes.
Could we add?
Yes.
For the rec and the staff time is like?
For programs.
Okay, for programs also at the rec center.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So will you be adding that?
Yes, I will. I will.
Carl?
Unmute.
Sorry, folks, I apologize. Always when I need to dig up a link, I can't find it, so it didn't hit my calendar for some reason. So anyway.
We're just going for the proposed report, if you have any questions.
Yeah, you were going through the written part, right? Not the actual spreadsheet, right?
No, the spreadsheet. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we're just going through the 2 pages of the written stuff.
Got it. Okay.
And then the only other item, so if you could there under senior and youth programs, put painting of the recreation center or something. So
yes, I will do that.
Okay, and then the under transfer to other funds, the first line, $200,000 transfer to assistance to local business grant fund. Is that the COVID-19?
Yes.
Could we call that out there?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And this is just a question under the $175,000 to capital improvement fund for the climate adaptation plan. Is that the full amount of that expense, or is there other?
There were other expenses, but as far as I know, there will be no other transfer from the sales tax fund.
Okay,
that will be paid for by other funds.
Okay, great. And then the last item I have is in the second to the last sentence of the final paragraph there. It reads, as recommended by the Sales Tax Oversight Committee, 2.5 million of this has been designated. I would like it to say 2.5 million of these funds have been designated, just to have it be a little clearer. So 2.5 million of these funds have been designated as blah, blah, blah. All righty. That concludes my comments. Carl, did you have anything with regard to the 2 pages of the statement?
No, your clarifications are spot on. So I will not take any more time on it.
Okay. So that's all. Is that all for the item 3 on our general business?
Yes, I believe so.
Would you like, can I make
unless Jean has any additions?
I was just gonna make the motion to approve as corrected.
And the date will be amended to whenever. Correct?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I move to approve this as corrected.
Do I have a second?
Second it?
All right.
Okay, Committee Member Greenbaum,
Yes,
Committee Member Spurzum,
Yes.
Chair Gerbosi.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I will be emailing you to let you know when this is going to be on the agenda for the town council so that you're aware and then you can present it if you'd like.
Okay, thanks.
can we see the corrected copy?
Yeah, I can send it to you.
All righty. Was I supposed to call for public comment on that?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
Patty, do you
Patty?
have anything to add? Seeing none.
Have your hand raised.
We close public comment. Okay, great. The next item on our agenda is to review of the proposed budget and revenue expenditure summary for the fiscal year 2021 to 2022 sales tax override fund. We will review the proposed budget and revenue and expenditure summary, and no action is required on this. This is for information only. Okay.
Okay, this is also included in your packet, item 3B. It's the proposed budget, which was given to the town council last week. And it does include the fact that for this year, 2020, 2021, you see the estimated actuals are in there. We've revised up the revenue that we expect to receive based on our third quarter sales tax. We're now expecting to receive 3.1 million this year. And then next year, based on from the information from HDL, who are the town's sales tax consultant, nearly $0.6 million. So on the first page, the summary, I have divided the expenditures into the main categories. The first one, debt service, you see there is a new category. What that is the repayment of the certificate of participations that was issued in May for the financing of the town hall. So the approximately $7 million that was received as a result of that debt is not in this fund. It's being held by a trustee, Bank of New York, and the expenditures related to the town hall project will be paid directly by the trustee, but of course the debt has to be repaid. So that's what that $451,000 is. That's the debt service payment.
Who's the recipient of the 451?
Well, the town, but it's being held by the Bank of New York. And as invoices come in for the town hall project, for the construction of the town hall project, which we don't have any invoices yet because it hasn't begun, we will send those invoices to the Bank of New York and they will pay them from the proceeds of this. So the town doesn't actually have the money. It's being held by the Bank of New York.
Now, my question was the $451,882. Where's that going?
I'm not completely certain, but I believe to the Bank of New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this all interest? This is all interest payments?
Not all interest, no, it's principal and interest. There's a schedule which I can send you if you like.
How long is this? How long is the loan for?
Let me look here. I have it right here. Just 1 minute.
Does this make sense to you, Carl?
Yeah, I'm interested as well. That's a lot of money for a loan that we just took out, right?
Yes, just in May. Just a few weeks ago, it was finalized. Let's see.
So that's a lot of points, I'm assuming, closing costs?
That is.
Well, Carl, it's in the 21-22 budget, so it's not being paid right now.
No, it'll be paid next May, like a year from now.
A year from now, okay.
Yeah, it's part of next year's, but no, it's not due right now.
It's budgeted.
It's
it's not-
budgeted, but
The check has not been written.
no, we haven't repaid it yet. So it will be, let's see, I'm just looking for the debt service schedule.
Yeah, what we end up doing on the maturity? Was it 15 or 20? What did we end up doing?
20 years, the
20.
final payment is in the year 2041.
Got it.
Yeah, the first payment is in, wait, yeah, that's correct. 2041. The first payment is due in May of 2022, $250,000 in principal and $224,000 in interest.
Oh,
Okay.
so this entry, we can now expect to see this going forward for the next 20 years? Is that? what you're-
Yes, yes.
It will vary. Is the interest fixed?
Yes,
I mean, the rate.
Yes.
yes.
But the amount that's going to show up there is going to change because the balance will be
Right, well, yeah, yes, we'll be paying, more
down.
time, yes.
So $250,000 goes to the principal approximately,
Right,
and the rest of it is interest.
yes, that first year, yes.
Okay.
Well,
Does
the payment will stay level, right? I mean, that's payment's not going to change the amount.
I believe let me just look at it, the payment, yeah, is approximately level. It moves by, $3,000 to $5,000 a year, not much.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
The
And that
payment
whole,
principles is fixed, but the payment of interest diminishes because the interest is
Right,
on the
yeah,
balance.
yes.
yeah, it'll just slowly become more and more principal, but the actual
Yes.
payment itself should be roughly the same. every
That's
month.
correct, that's
Okay.
correct,
Yeah, because it's a large amount and it's 20 years.
that's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. And that's monthly. The first one starts in May of next year. Okay.
That's the first payment, we pay yearly, yes,
Annual.
next year.
So that's an annual payment.
Yes, yes,
Okay, I'm sorry. That makes a lot more sense. Pardon me.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, yeah, I had a question about the whole debt service thing. Okay, great.
Okay. The next category is disaster preparedness, and that has reduced. You could see this year's budget was $860,000, and then it's going forward $500,000. And part of that is because the NRG, the Neighborhood Response Group, and CERT and associated supplies and training had been paid for out of this fund. And then half had also been paid for by the city of Larkspur. Now it's all being paid for through Central Marin Fire Authority starting next year. And it's just part of the Central Marin Fire Authority budget. So it's not coming out of this budget anymore.
Okay.
So, yeah, and you can see the individual expenditures on the following page. Flood control. You know what flood control is, and the proposed projects are also on the next page.
Okay.
Senior and youth programs has been increased to $100,000. Those are for programs through the recreation center. And then the next category is, infrastructure and that multimodal transportation and, all of those sorts of things. And you can see them all listed on the following pages.
Now, I have a quick question. In general, can you explain, just highlight how it went from basically 3.5 million in 2020 to 2021, and then 5.1 the following year? So
Yes, some of that is being, if you'll notice, the revised budget was about 4.7 million in the current year, and we only anticipate spending about 3.5 just because of the timing of projects. So some of those are carried over into the next year.
Oh, so it's basically things that got pushed forward.
Some of that, yes. Yes, that is the case.
Okay.
And then the final category, transfer to other funds, that is to reimburse the general fund for the salaries of the project manager and for some code enforcement salaries. And then so the estimated ending balance will be approximately $4.1 million. So, and then each of the projects are listed on the following pages if you want to see what the individual projects are.
Yeah. Yeah, page 6 and 7 of the attachment to the.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so Jean, do you have any questions about any of these things?
I have a couple of general, I have some questions. So are we getting interest on the money in the sales tax override fund?
I'm sorry, are we going to?
Are we earning any interest on?
Oh, no, we don't apportion money to this because it rolls up into the general fund. So in the financial statements. And so the general fund gets most of the interest. The only funds that we apportion interest to each quarter are, of course, sanitary district, and then other funds that we legally need to do so for the gas tax fund. But since this and some other funds roll up to the general fund, no.
So interest is earned, it just doesn't show up here.
Right, yeah, in the financial statements, it will show up, yes.
And how much is that approximately on this fund, on this?
Well, interest rates are so low now, they're like 0.36, not even like 0.5%. So this last quarter, it was, let me look, it was a very small amount. I think for the entire general fund, it may have been $100,000, if that.
No.
Is that the only thing, Daria, that comes across? Because aren't those funds are all kind of broadly invested, right?
Virtually everything is in the LAIF, the Local Agency Investment Fund at the
Okay.
at the state. That doesn't include the pension trust. That's separate.
Okay.
It's a much higher return.
Right.
That's handled by Morgan Stanley, and also.
Right.
Also the OPEB trust, but just these general funds that we can't, have long-term investments for because we make them, we have to transfer money sometimes.
Right.
Right now, the LAIF has extremely low interest rate,
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
So we used to see like 3 years out at some point during the year in this committee in terms of the capital projects that were planned for next year, the year after that, and the year after that. Is that something that we're not doing anymore?
We didn't do it in this year's budget. I can ask RJ if he has something like that, that maybe we can bring at the next meeting or a meeting after that. Okay,
because I'm feeling like we're looking back 2 years and we're really looking forward 1 year in this report, which
that's right.
I'd rather see some vision, since I don't remember it from year to year. So it would be good to be reminded of what our future looks like.
I don't know if the reason for that is because they adopted a capital improvement plan, which we hadn't done in. I don't know if we ever did that, and Peter Brown started that. So just as a refresher, if you'd like, I can get the link and email you that adopted capital improvement plan that I think we reviewed last year, I believe. I'll send it over to you after this meeting.
Well, if it was last year, then I would have seen it, but I'm wondering, are we?
It was the year before.
To roll it forward,
Yeah,
it was for 5 years, but yeah, I'll send it over.
Okay. But it hasn't changed or since last year?
That's what I'm
Not
gonna-
really.
That's what I'm gonna ask RJ for an update.
Okay, all right,
Mhm.
great. Let me see, what else? Do we get multiple bids on consulting work for these projects?
Not necessarily on consultants, on construction, yes, it's the law that we have to take multiple bids and take the lowest. For what they call professional services for things like attorneys, auditors, things like that, no, we don't always have to take the lowest bid. But
So
no,
what about-
but for these projects, for the construction and for the project itself, yes, we do have to take bids and
So-
the lowest bid.
So even if we're talking about you're deeming it consultants for the projects, so those are sent out for multiple bids.
I believe so. Most of them are. There may be some exceptions. Most of them are. I can ask again, RJ, if there are any exceptions to that.
Okay. Let me just go through this, to see if I highlighted anything else. Well, there's a housing element under on page 6, 3/4 of the way, or no, at the end of page 6, it says housing element 150,000. What are you anticipating that to be?
What am I, well, the total I think is $300,000. That's part of the planning department's housing element that they have to come up with. The total will be 300,000 over 2 years.
And why is that coming out of this and not part of the operating budget?
That's where I was instructed by the town manager to pay for this. I can ask him about that and send out a response. He's not
Okay.
available today. Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Miscellaneous. So when you list miscellaneous professional services and miscellaneous small projects, do they become less miscellaneous at some point?
Yes, yes, once what they are, they're just listed that way now because there's always something that comes up, some unexpected expenditure.
Sounds like my question from last time about undesignated.
They're just calling it something different now.
They're undesignated miscellaneous.
And that's all I had on that.
Okay,
Carl, do you have anything?
Well, kind of along the lines of that, this code enforcement person, he's getting raves, like residents like it, but why is his salary coming out of here? Or her salary?
because I guess it's disaster preparedness, one of the areas that the town council prioritized for this.
Oh, so it's like code enforcement on people clearing away their.
Right, having dangerous
Okay,
dangerous conditions on their property that have to be cleared, because of
okay.
danger or something like that.
It's not code enforcement at the dog park, Carl.
No. Mm-mm.
No, code enforcement for leaf blowers. That's what I want. Just again, sorry for jumping in late. Just at the top line, your revenue from revised to estimate for this year. You pretty confident it's about a 10+% boost? 2.8.
It seems like it, based on what we've received so far. We've already received through March. We've received everything through March, which is 75%. We're already, I think, at 83% of the 2.8. So we felt confident in upping that, yes. And just a little aside for the not for this fund, but for the other sales tax, we've already exceeded the amount we had in the budget. So sales tax seems to be going pretty well.
We get some sales tax from the Tesla dealer?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Car sales as a whole, for the other sales tax, the general sales tax are really doing very well. For this measure of sales tax, we get the car sales that are registered here in Corte Madera. But for the 1%, we get, everything they sell, we get that 1%, regardless of where the car is registered.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have kind of kept track, but we have, I think, 5 car dealerships now in
Mhm.
Corte Madera. 5.
Yeah,
Which, so everyone comes up here to buy cars. It just, Tesla is killing it for us. It's just amazing.
But again, if somebody from San Francisco buys a Tesla in Corte Madera, some portion of that sales tax stays in Corte Madera.
right, right. If somebody from San Francisco buys a car here in Corte Madera gets the 1% sales tax, which is related to this fund. It receives that 1% regardless of where the person lives. But if the person lives in San Francisco, it won't get the 0.75 Measure F sales tax. That's only for people who have cars registered in Corte Madera. But if somebody, say in Corte Madera, who has her, who lives here in Corte Madera, buys a car in San Francisco, Corte Madera will still get that 0.75 sales tax, but not, of course, the 1%. San Francisco will keep that.
This may be a little arcane, but then if somebody gets their car serviced in Corte Madera and they have to buy parts and their sales tax on the parts, then all of that stays probably.
Yes, something like that. Yes, that will all go to Corte Madera. Yes.
All right, so let's just, I'm hoping that Tesla has really expensive parts, which probably doesn't take much hope.
Probably does.
All right. Anything else, Carl?
No. I like the reclassification of some stuff. That certainly helps. So nope, I'm good.
And so the comments that I had is on page 6 and 7, in just general terms. I had a little bit of a challenge sometimes of figuring out where things broke. So like on the first page, there's a blank line under construction Pike Canal, where I would have thought we would have had a blank line before flood control. So you started out with.
Oh, right. There's an extra blank line there. Yes.
It's just that some of the spacing doesn't help me figure out what goes with what.
Okay. Yes.
Or
Yes.
the total stuff.
There's an extra line there. Yes.
You know, and just as a point of style, I would have put a blank line after each total line so that I then knew that I was beginning another category.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, so I'm a point of style person. Okay, great. So does anybody else have anything else with regard to the proposed budget? And if not,
Public comment?
we're going to go to public comment.
Do have public comment from our guest Patty. Let me allow her to speak.
Thank you. I have 2 questions. One is it imperative to group together senior and youth projects? Because I remember many years ago going to talk to people at the Corte Madera Community Foundation and them saying, we really embrace the idea that the town is going to be putting some interest into seniors. They do so much for youth. So now you've got them clumped together and it's impossible to determine what did we do for seniors and what did we do for youth. So I wonder if that's any way to divide that up and have it more transparent.
I think, yes, I'll work with the rec department on that because a lot of that is salaries, and I'll work with them on separating that. Yes.
Because the painting and flooring is the building,
Right.
regardless of who's dancing around in there.
That's correct.
And the other is, of course, the Casa Buena project. I see that it's $500,000. I'm assuming that the other millions that are needed for the complete streets will come from other sources. and not that it's being pushed further out in terms of years, because it was promised to be the summer of 22 that we see the Complete Streets project.
Okay, there is $1.1 million total budgeted for the Casa Buena Complete Streets project. 223,000 of that is coming from the road maintenance SB1. It's like a gas tax fund. And then 400,000 of that there are various grants for, and that's coming out of another fund. And then $477,000 is coming out of the sales tax fund.
But I can't remember how many millions the whole project is.
That I don't know. I'll have to ask RJ. I'll have to ask RJ what the total is. I don't know what
And the expectation is that that is really going to be spent in 21, 22.
I'll double check with him. Yeah, but the expectation of what's in the budget, yes, will be spent in 21, 22. Whether or not that is the entire project or not, I don't know. I'll have to ask RJ.
And the 21, 22 ends with July 1, I presume. So if there's going to be more expense on the Casa Buena project in August of next year, then that would be the following budget.
That's correct. Yes, that's what I'll ask him.
Thank you.
Sorry, I can actually add to that because I'm working on creating a project page on the website, and the estimated project schedule for phase 1 is late 2021 or early 2022. And then phase 2, the construction is summer 2022. Phase 1, the cost is to be determined, and phase 2 is 2.7 million. And then we have 416,000 from grant funding. And once I get the project page completed, I can email that to you if you'd like. Patty, email you the link.
So the phase 2, Patty, looks like it's into the next year, the next fiscal year.
The next fiscal year, but still the summer of 22. Next
Correct.
summer. Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yep, thank you.
All righty. So this was completely so that concludes our wonderful public participation. And I think that has everything that we want to do then on item B on our agenda. So the next item on our agenda is approval of minutes of the April 5, 2021 meeting. I have 2 corrections, but before I go to my corrections, I'm going to ask Jean and Carl if they have anything with regard to the minutes.
I have nothing.
I'm okay.
Okay, great. So on page 3 of the minutes, which is page 10 of the attachment, line 12, it looks like the word committee might be missing. I think it says ad hoc,
Oh, committee. Okay.
and I thought it would be ad hoc committee. And then page 4 or page 11 of the attachment, line 10, it reads stated that was, and I think what was meant was stated that it was.
Okay, perfect.
You find what I was talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. So with those corrections, can I get a motion?
I move to approve the minutes as corrected.
Second?
He's on mute, but I read his lips.
All right.
Sorry, I do this, my chair's all squeaky. So yes, I second the motion.
Yeah, I've seen them do in the town council is they just hold up 2 for the
There
second.
we go.
All right, call the vote.
Committee member Greenbaum,
Yes,
committee member Spurgeon,
Yes,
and Chair Gerbovsky.
Yes. Okay. So I don't know that we're at this point, we're looking to schedule a next meeting date. The main thing that's going to happen next is that you're going to finalize this. You're going to send us out a copy of what got finalized. I'm going to sign something, and then you're going to agendize it for the town council. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. All right. If there's nothing else, I'm going to adjourn this meeting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Lorena, for calling. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Actually, I
Bye.
wanted to notice Carl and I and Jean all have basically the same color of offices.
There
Oh,
we go.
yeah.
The
It's,
requirement.
you guys have good taste. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
We're out of
Bye.
here. Thanks.